In my personal opinion, this is probably one of the most underrated dog tools that you could use, but you have to get it correct, and that is the dog leash. The leash is very important, and I'm gonna tell you what kind of leash you should be using and what to stay away from, so keep watching. Now today I want to talk about some of the leashes that I use every day with my dog, some that I use for training, and some that I like to stay away from. And some owners are using these leashes that they probably shouldn't be using, and I'm gonna tell you which one that is. Now the first leash that I'd like to talk about is the retractable dog leash. A lot of owners are using this leash, and the reason why this is one of my least favorite leashes is because it's very inconsistent with your dog. Now, depending on what kind of retractable leash you got, some of these let your dog go out to 10 feet, 20 feet, maybe even 30 feet. And that's so inconsistent because if you're trying to teach your dog not to pull on the leash, what this does is letting your dog go out 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet, then back to 2 feet, then 10 feet. Really, you want to stay consistent with your leash pulling training. You want to keep your dog on your side and not let them wander around like that. If they're about a foot ahead, maybe even a couple inches ahead of you, they're not looking back for you for direction. So that's the reason why I don't like to use this a lot. The one thing I like to use this leash for is recall training. I think this is perfect for recall training because when we're doing recall, we want the dogs to get distracted and roam around in a little bit farther area from us. And we're gonna lock this in as a recall command and tell them to come, locks it in, and you're able to get your dog to come back to you. Now the next leash I want to talk about is the long line. Now this leash is about 20 to 30 feet. I forgot what the specifics are, but this leash is meant for a recall training. Again, it has the same concept as the retractable dog leash. It's just not retractable. And it's a little bit more consistent. You're not letting your dog go out 4 feet, 6 feet, 10 feet. It's really just letting your dog do a free roam, and then you bring them back in with this long line. I wouldn't use this on a regular, just handling your dog through the dog park. This kind of material though is something that I would shoot for, and I'm gonna go into details about that on the next dog leash. Hey Top Bully owner, before you click out of this video, if you're struggling with your dog pulling on the leash and you want to get a deeper training on how to stop this kind of behavior, I have my Perfect Leash Walking in 30 Days program that will give you a deeper sense on how to actually stop this leash pulling that your dog is doing. So if it's something that you're interested in, there'll be a link in the description where you can go and check it out. And if you decide to enroll in our Perfect Leash Walking in 30 Days program, I am going to personally ship you a free slip leash that you see in this video that will help you with your training. So go check it out. There'll be a link in the description. Now the next leash that I want to talk about is just a standard dog leash. This is about 6 feet. And this has nylon. It's very strong. When you're picking out your kind of leashes, you want to make sure that the seams are very strong, such as this stuff right here. You want to make sure that it's not going to break. This is kind of ropish nylon material, and it has a regular hook right there. Some people like to use a carabiner as their standard dog leash because they think it's more secure. I do think it's more secure, but at the same time, I'm viewing these seams. Are they going to break if my 100-pound pit bull were to pull on the leash? You want to make sure that this is sturdy as well. You don't want this to be some kind of cheap sewing right here where it's just going to bust right away. But this leash I've been using for months now. I don't use it on the regular anymore because I use my other regular leash, but this is the one that I was using. It's very reliable and is not busted up besides this little bit of tag right here. It's been very reliable, and I do recommend this kind of leash if you're just regular handling throughout the day. The next training leash that I like to use for training is the slip lead. Now this kind of leash, it's about 4 feet long, and you can see what kind of material it is right here. It's nylon, but what this does is I use this leash to correct my dog. So when I talk about a flick on the wrist, this is what I'm doing. You see how it tightens up right there and it goes back to its normal state. This leash is perfect for correcting your dog, and I use it for training. It's gotten me great results. It's not for every dog. Not every dog is going to get results from this kind of leash, but I've seen a lot of dogs actually have success with this leash when it comes to their training. Again, I have to state, this is for training purposes only. This is not for your regular handling around the dog park. Now this little clasp right here makes sure that it doesn't fall down on the leash, because it doesn't fall down on the dog. A lot of people that use just a regular leash say that the collar area just falls down the dog's neck because it loosens up. This prevents it from happening, so it's a very reliable tool when it comes to training. You see me on my last video, if you haven't yet, but go check it out. But my last video on the perfect leash walking with Trey, this is what I was using and this is what I got to make sure that he doesn't pull on the leash and he follows my lead. Now, my regular leash that I use through the day is this double handle dog leash. Now, the reason why I like it is because it's double handle right here, one handle, two handles. It is about 1 inch in width, and it has this material where you shine your light on it and it's gonna shine in the nighttime so we're able to be seen. There's padding on the handles, and it's just perfect for regular handling of my dog. This is not meant for training my dog. My dog, I feel, is pretty obedient with me. He might have some slip ups, but I never use this for training with him. I simply use it for handling him. It's the best leash that I've had so far, and I really do recommend it. And it's perfect because I see a lot of owners that use like 6 feet of leash. They wrap their hands or wrap the leash around their hands like this, and it just looks very uncomfortable, especially if a dog were to pull on it. You're gonna tighten up around your hand. This is perfect because it already has this handle right there. That's all you need to use, and I feel like I'm very secure with my dog. I don't need to use both handles at one time all the time, but I like to use them anyway just to make sure I have them secure if we're going on a regular walk. Again, this is my regular handle every day. I like to use this. The other leashes, they have their purposes, but when I'm not doing any of those things, this is what I'm using. So I hope this brought value to you on what kind of leash that you should be using for your dog. So if you did, hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next video. I am out.